Hello, welcome to Eye on Africa with me, Yinko Itade. The headlines. 3 Americans appear in court over last month's botched coup attempt in Congo. The defendants could be facing the death penalty after being accused of terrorism, murder and criminal association. Pro-democracy activists in Sudan say the rapid support forces have killed around 40 people in the city of Omdurman. Meanwhile, the African Union condemning the RSF for an attack on a village in the Al-Jazira state, which left 150 people dead, including 35 children. And a Muslim minority community on the Tunisian island of Djerba raced to preserve its heritage using artificial intelligence. AI there saving religious manuscripts that are over 6 generations old. But first, the wheels of justice are finally turning in the Democratic Republic of Congo, nearly a month after the army there foiled a coup attempt in the country's capital. 3 Americans and dozens of other defendants accused of being involved in the failed power grab appeared in court today. They are facing a number of charges, including terrorism, murder and criminal association. Some of those are punishable by death. The botched coup attempt was led by the little-known opposition figure Christian Malanga, who was killed along with 6 others in clashes with the military.
51 defendants were hauled in front of a military tribunal in Congo's capital, Kinshasa, on Friday, where they heard the charges laid against them for allegedly attempting to stage a coup on May 19th. Most of the defendants are Congolese nationals, but among the group of accused are 3 US citizens, 1 Canadian, 1 Belgian, and a British man. The charges against them are the most serious possible in Congo, including terrorism and criminal association. The military judge told the defendants that they were facing the death penalty.
We weren't at the pre-trial hearing, which is why we are asking that we be given time to access the files and read the various statements made by our clients before the case is referred to the military tribunal.
3 people were killed during the attempted coup on May 19th when armed men attempted to assassinate Vital Kamerhe, the former economy minister. The armed men then went to the presidential palace where they filmed themselves unfurling flags and shouting slogans before the Congolese security forces subsequently overwhelmed them. On Friday, the 3 US citizens needed an interpreter to understand the proceedings, although the interpreter himself could barely speak English. Defense lawyers complained that they had not had time to consult with their clients. Few of the details of the alleged attempted coup are clear, nor are the motivations of the various participants. The court proceedings continue next week.
Next, pro-democracy activists in Sudan say around 40 people have been killed in the city of Omdurman in what they describe as violent artillery fire. The attack was reportedly at the hands of the paramilitary rapid support forces. It comes a day after the RSF was accused of killing at least 150 people, including 35 children, during an attack on a village in Al-Jazira state, south of Khartoum. While the African Union has today strongly condemned the massacre, it says civilians were indiscriminately killed. For more on that attack, here's our regional correspondent, Bastien Renouy in Nairobi.
2 days after the massacre in Wad al-Noura, it's still very difficult to understand what happened exactly in this village located in the state of Al-Jazira. According to a member of a local resistance committee, these organizations that were created in 2019, just after the revolution, to organize the country's transition to democracy, at least 150 civilians have been killed by the rapid support forces, among them at least 35 children. It seems that the rapid support forces requested the civilians' permission to enter the village. They said no, and that's when the RSF started to shoot at these civilians with heavy weapons and artillery. But it's not the only location in Sudan where civilians are targeted at the moment. Let's also mention the city of El Fasher. El Fasher is the capital of North Darfur. It's Darfur's last big city, still under the control of the Sudanese military. The rapid support forces have been surrounding the city for more than a month now. They're trying to take control of this major city. Hundreds of thousands of civilians are still living inside, including many internally displaced people. They have nowhere to go. According to Médecins Sans Frontières, the medical NGO, at least 200 people have been killed during the last months. More than 1,000 people have been injured. There is no more medicine in the only hospital left in the city. Local authorities had to organize organize an airdrop to get more medicine to help injured people. And the situation is not going to improve anytime soon, according to Mini Minawi, a local rebel leader allied to the Sudanese military. He says that the rapid support forces are gathering outside of the city and that they are going to launch a massive offensive anytime soon to take control of El Fashir.
Well, as we've been mentioning, medical supplies have run out in Sudan. That's just one part of the dire humanitarian situation there after over 2 years of war. The UN says the number of people internally displaced by the conflict could soon exceed 10 million, amounting to the world's largest displacement crisis. While the World Food Programme says it's now expanding its emergency food and nutrition assistance in Sudan amid the looming threat of famine. The move is expected to provide help to an additional 5 million people by the end of this year. Take a listen.
We've got record levels of malnutrition, record levels of hunger, and on a daily basis, the situation is getting worse. We need an end to the conflict. At a minimum, we need a ceasefire. We need to be able to scale our operations, and for that we need the humanitarian access. We need long-term political intervention that will allow the peace to hold.
Outspoken critic of the Rwandan president, Diane Rwigara, has been barred from elections. The Election Commission says it took the decision after the leader of the People Salvation Movement failed to meet requirements to put her hat in the ring, including submitting a criminal record statement. Only 2 other candidates will now run to challenge Paul Kagame's 3-decade rule. Senegal, Togo, Benin and Ivory Coast are among the largest buyers of imported hair extensions and wigs in Africa, with most coming from Asia. The Afro hair industry is a multi-billion-dollar market, but this high demand for braids, wigs and hair extensions generates huge plastic waste that is left poorly managed. To combat this, one entrepreneur from Benin has developed biodegradable hair extensions made from natural banana fibers. Our team on the ground sent us this report.
It's hard to believe, but these hair extensions were made from recycled banana waste. At a salon in Cotonou, entrepreneur and ecologist Kosi Jiku is showcasing the potential of these biodegradable fibers, a game changer in the West African beauty industry.
We find that our clients are interested in the organic nature and the natural aspect of our products. So we end up with hair extensions that are natural, that can be transformed and later that can disintegrate in nature. I know that many people will love the idea and many will want to use these extensions.
Benin remains one of West Africa's largest importers of synthetic wigs and hair extensions.
All these are synthetic extensions from China and Nigeria. Women buy them a lot, but it's all plastic waste, and it's very bad for the environment and their health as well.
Production workshop in Komé transforms around 15 tons of green banana trunks into fibers every month.
Besides what we use at the cooperative level, we buy back banana plants from them. It's amazing for the producer who sees their income level increase because now it's no longer just a banana production.
Kosi Jiku plans to collaborate with this research structure. With their help, he hopes to create a machine able to produce large quantities of finer fibers, like wool or banana silk, all while staying eco-friendly.
We are not changing the world, right? Because if you look on internet, there are already many alternatives. So it's about adapting those things and bringing them here. That's the challenge, to mechanize our own production chains.
Banana fibers are gaining traction for more than just hair extensions. In countries like Uganda and Cameroon, they're also driving towards a circular economy. By recycling every bit of waste, banana plantations are creating a new range of eco-friendly products.
Now, artificial intelligence is becoming increasingly part of our daily lives, and on the Tunisian island of Djerba, one man is using AI to preserve his cultural heritage. With the technology, the 74-year-old librarian is racing to save historic religious manuscripts that have been in his family for over 6 generations. Clemence Waller takes up the story.
Surrounded by hundreds of ancient Ibadi texts, Said al-Barouni is on a mission to preserve his community's little-known heritage. The 74-year-old librarian has been racing against time, using technology and artificial intelligence to preserve whatever manuscripts he can find. The documents are first scanned into digital copies. Said and his team then use AI software to simplify and help people read the ancient cursive Arabic writings.
Around 1,200 pages of manuscripts were digitized. We formed around 5 teams to correct the errors. Because this artificial intelligence software leaves a margin of error of between 1 and 10%.
Considered an early divergent branch of Islam, followers of the Ibadi doctrine fled to remote areas in modern-day Oman, where most Ibadis live today, as well as Libya, Algeria and Tunisia. Their texts have been scattered across history, prompting Said to scour for more literature for his library, which he inherited from his ancestors.
My grandfather and my father were passionate about this heritage. They preserved this collection. We then took up the torch and made them available to researchers across all universities, both here in Tunisia and abroad.
Today, the Al-Barouni Library holds over 1,600 ancient Ibadi texts and books on various topics, including astrology and medicine, dating from as early as 1357.
Well, that's it from us, but do stay tuned to France 24.